It's time. Today's video is sponsored by Micro Center and their Custom PC Builder. Use a Custom PC Builder to plan your next build, and when the parts are added to your cart and in-store pickup is selected, a Micro Center technician will fully assemble your PC, and if the order is placed at least 4 hours before closing, you can enjoy your new PC the very same day. Get the best prices and parts selection at any of Micro Center's 25 locations across the United States. And right now, my viewers can get a free 32GB flash drive and a free 32GB micro SD card while supplies last, in-store only. To see everything Micro Center has to offer and to learn more about this limited time incentive, click the link in the description below. This is the AMD graphics card you guys are used to. The old trusty 5700 XT, RDNA 1. Not quite good enough to take on NVIDIA, unfortunately. But one of the things they told us and they promised us when this came out was that RDNA was going to age like fine wine. It was going to be the Ryzen for GPUs. And then the 30 series came out and I thought to myself, how in the heck is AMD going to make up the amount of gap that they've got to make up? I mean, this is just like Gapplebees in terms of racing, right? I mean, there's no way they could catch up. Well, this was a great card. It really was. I mean, it competed with the 2070 Super. Remember, the Super cards existed because of this card, believe it or not. Whether NVIDIA had them planned all along or they decided to just kind of change things mid-game. This card with its controversial finger dent, that's just how strong I am. See, I squished the card. This is the reference edition 5700 XT, and then the 5700 looked somewhat similar, just didn't have this dent. And you could actually take a 5700 and flash this BIOS to it and get yourself a 5700 XT. Didn't necessarily mean it was gonna work, but ours did. But this is old news. Nobody cares about that anymore because now the new stuff is here. Bum, bum, bum. So this is gonna be an interesting launch. I think by now everyone knows the embargo for like sales and availability is November 18th. And this being the AMD card, I don't know exactly what, I don't know if this is the exact thing you're gonna get. If this is retail packaging, apparently UPC goes there. Ours clearly doesn't have one because this is, you know, early sample type stuff. What I wanna speak to first and foremost as we unbox this and take a look at what comes in the packaging without trying to rip the box because I really suck at unboxing. There we go. I don't know if this is exactly what you're gonna get. I don't know if this is what's gonna be at like Micro Center and Best Buy and all of that. If you buy the AMD Radeon branded one, that is. Ooh, look at that. Uncompromised 4K gaming, AMD Fidelity FX optimized, 16 gigabytes of memory, and PCIe 4.0 ready. So this is what's inside the 6800. This is not the XT, obviously. It's got this little flap. Oh, and then right here, you got a little pull dealy bobber. It's got a QR code, which I'm assuming is gonna lead you to all the product information you need for your graphics card. I really do like QR codes. I really do, because then your manual's never out of date. As long as they keep the website up to date, you put your phone, turn on the camera pointed at it, whether it's Android or Apple, or anyone still running a Windows phone these days? And it's got all your compliance information, quick start. Nope, general safety guidelines. This product is for use only with compatible UL listed personal computers that have installation instructions detailing user installation of this class of product. So here is the 6800 right here. Pretty standard size, actually. Remember how I kind of showed that it has a very 2080 Ti sort of a look to it? I do like the fact that it's a 3-fan. You can see it's a 2-slot design, slightly taller than normal. Like, that's probably like, what you say is, like about 1.5 centimeters maybe? But you know what though? Look at all those MLCCs.
This card's so stable, bro.
Powered off 2 8-pin PCI Express. But you can see you've got that red trim that I kind of said I didn't like, but I think it's starting to grow on me a little bit, especially if you're gonna do any sort of a, I just think this silver, because I don't know, I guess this is aluminum. I think the silver with the matte black and the red trim really do look good together. You know what's nice to see is they've got the USB-C right here on the back. Something that the 30 series graphics cards from NVIDIA omitted. It was originally supposed to be there for VR headsets and such. NVIDIA got away with it because they said it wasn't being utilized that much. But as soon as they took it away, I started hearing people complain about it. So obviously there's gonna be a subset of users that care about that. It's fairly weighty, and I think that's just because there's so much heat sink in there. I'm a little concerned about the part that gets thinner right here, just like I was with the 2080 Ti. So one of the things we'll definitely be checking is temperatures with this over time because of this shroud which is like that on both sides, by the way. One has a logo, one doesn't. I'm assuming this Radeon logo is gonna light up. That just takes away some of the escape for the air. And considering the fact that there is a fan right there, tells me that airflow is something I'm somewhat concerned about. There's no vents on the back, so none of the air can make their way out of the shield right here, the IO shield in the back. So nothing will be escaping out the slots. And then there's nothing on the end right here either. So the only way air can flow through these cards is down and then out those sides. So I really am truly interested as to how well the airflow is gonna be on that. In terms of connectivity though, you've got your HDMI 2.1, you've got 2 display ports and the USB-C. So there is less connectivity on this card than you would find on something like an NVIDIA 30 series card, but you do get back the USB-C. So I guess it's gonna be up to you on whether or not that's enough connectivity. If you're running 3 DisplayPort monitors, like a triple monitor setup, then you kind of have a problem here in that you aren't gonna be able to natively hook up DisplayPort to all 3. You'd have to do like a DisplayPort to HDMI, a converter cable. You're not gonna be able to use 3 of the same cable, obviously. But that's just one. Remember, the Sith, there's always 2. This is the master! Welcome to the Red Team. You've joined a select community with an uncompromising passion for premium gaming. You guys have an uncompromised passion for premium gaming? That shared desire is at the heart of everything we do. It's why we engineered the fastest AMD Radeon RX graphics cards ever, until the next ones, to deliver a powerful gaming experience. Essentially the same flap with the same quick start guide deal. Once you take it out of there, looks like this one put on the COVID 30. So just in terms of size already, so you can see it's exactly the same length and it's essentially the exact same height. It's got the same exact connectivity on the back side of it. In fact, when you look at the back plate, it all looks pretty much identical. The only difference here is this one is a 2.5 slot, essentially. So you can see it sticks up a little bit taller than the 2 slot. So that's something you want to keep in mind if it's something you were planning on putting in a 3 slot or a 2 slot vertical adapter. It should still just be fine because there's no bracket here to worry about. 3 slot cards that have 3 brackets won't fit in any sort of vertical mount that has 2 slots. This will work on that. You just need to make sure you have enough distance between any side panel glass or plastic or whatever so you have plenty of airflow. The nice thing is though, that extra height kind of removes some of my concerns about that gap that I told you I had on the 6800 right here. So if you take a look at that gap, it's clearly less on the 6800 XT just because you have an extra half slot of height right there. And you can see through that. Like I see the camera, can you see my eye? I see you. I'm Jordy, I'm an engineer. But in terms of like the overall card, it just looks exactly like the 6800, but only it's an XT, which makes it just a little bit fatter. So now if we kind of take a look at the family right here, this is kind of your small, medium, and large with AMD. I would have to assume they're gonna come out with a 5700 XT replacement. 5700 XT is significantly slower than a 2080 Ti. Now we know in terms of the stack, like where these are slotted to compete, we know that the 6800 XT is designed to go toe-to-toe with the 3080. I'm curious as to if this one can be flashed with the XT BIOS. That's something that, like I said, we did with the 5700, so we'll have to try it. But this is designed to go more against the 3070, and based on what we've seen on the charts that they've showed, it looks like this card is going to be quite a bit faster than the 3070, simply because of the fact that they compared it to a 2080 Ti, which we already know is essentially a 3070, and based on what AMD's chart showed that it did, I would expect the 6800 to outperform it quite a bit. It's also more expensive though, so that's something to keep in mind. 5700 XT owners, it's time to upgrade. It's kind of sad though, if you look at this, even this card has the 3 display ports. I'm curious to see how many people are upset about the fact that they dropped an entire display port. So these are what we've got for our launch coming up here. No 6900 XT, I don't know what their plans were on seeding those. I'm sure a couple of channels probably got them. We didn't, but that's okay. We'll be checking out AIB cards, which we'll be getting those as well. This is where I kind of say, I said with the 5900X and the 5950X, I wanted to do some sort of like ultimate AMD build. I do it every time. I don't know why people always give me a hard time saying I don't do enough custom AMD stuff when I've done more custom AMD builds than I have than any other brand on this channel. But we've got some stuff I want to show you here. So I received the new ROG Crosshair Dark Hero from Asus. So this seemed like a pretty good platform to build something on there. And then I received something else. This. This, my friends, is all the water cooling stuff for the new Radeon graphics cards. So as you can see right here, we've got our 6000 series water block, and I sure hope this isn't under embargo because it just showed up. Look at that right there. You want to vertical mount that in my opinion. You can't see the water flow, but the Radeon, and that clearly glows. So you can see we can maintain that nice aluminum look like you've got with the cards here. I like the idea of using this black tubing. We've got some of it over there. We've actually had some of this in stock for a while, but this feels industrial. And I love the way the matte black tubing looks. And because of the fact that they gave us these matching, check this out, Phil, getting close on this, matching silver with red accent compression fittings. So you can imagine these kind of really tying in with the overall aesthetics of what the AMD Red Team is supposed to look like. So these are running the EK compression fittings with the changeable trim that screws on there. So you can actually change the colors if you want. We actually have an entire kit of blue, yellow, gold, silver. So they obviously kind of came up with an AMD Radeon color scheme right there where it's silver with the red trim and then the black fitting. So I feel like a silver and red and black theme is necessary. We've got this Cooler Master case, which is all silver. And in fact, it even has a Radeon 7 that's water cooled in there and a build that I never finished, and this is getting really heavy. So I feel like this would be the perfect case for this. Everything's branded Ryzen and AMD. So here's the CPU block, and look, it's just a big chunk of aluminum for the mounting bracket on there. This is the pump reservoir combo, which just fits in any sort of fan slot. That's a 120 fan. So you can use this mounted onto the radiator or something, because you can mount it horizontal, because you got ports there, as you can see. So that's gonna be fun. I don't know if this is just a reviewer kit. I think it might be. Imagine if you could just buy this like this. I mean, then they give us 3 of their RGB, or the Vardar Evo RGB fans, which is neat though, because look, they have the custom milled machined Radeon logo in the center of it. So as it turns, it's very like, hits the light, which I think looks really, really cool. So as you can see, they have armed us, quite literally, with a gun case that is capable of building, I think, one of the most badass AMD systems we've ever done around here. I don't know how many people receive these kits, so it's probably not gonna be super unique, but I have a feeling we can always do something though that gives the Jay's 2 cents touch. Let's get it on the test bench. And you guys have to wait till next time. See you guys in the review.